Hello and welcome to the Insightful Moments Podcast, special series. Tourism is often described as an industry, but I believe that definition is far too simplistic. Tourism is not simply an industry. It is an interconnected living system, a constantly evolving network of relationships, organizations, infrastructure, people, behaviors, technologies, markets, and experiences. Airlines influence hotels. Hotels influence labor. Labor influences service quality. Service quality influences destination reputation. Destination reputation influences demand. Demand influences investment. Investment influences accessibility. And accessibility influences the entire cycle all over again. This is why tourism behaves very differently from many traditional industries. It behaves more like what scholars and systems theorists call a complex adaptive system. And today, I want to explore why that matters. Because once you begin understanding tourism through a systems lens, you start realizing why disruption spreads so rapidly, why prediction becomes difficult, why traditional management models often fail, and why resilience, collaboration, and social capital may become some of the most important strategic capabilities destinations possess in the future. A complex adaptive system, or a CAS, is a system made up of many interconnected actors whose behavior continuously changes based on interaction with one another. The important phrase there is interaction, because tourism is fundamentally relational. No organization operates independently. No destination operates independently. No stakeholder operates independently. The behavior of one actor influences the behavior of another. And because those interactions are constantly evolving, the system itself is always adapting. This creates both opportunity and instability. Think about what happens when a destination launches a successful marketing campaign. Traveler interest increases, airline demand increases, hotel compression increases. There are pricing changes. Resident sentiment may also change, as well as labor needs increasing. Transportation demand shifts. Attraction visitation changes. The entire ecosystem begins reorganizing itself around new conditions. Now imagine the opposite, a hurricane, an economic downturn, or a pandemic, a labor shortage, an airline collapse, a geopolitical conflict, a technology disruption. Suddenly, demand softens, investment slows, stakeholder confidence changes, consumers may alter their behavior, organizations can become defensive. The ecosystem reorganizes again. This is the defining characteristic of a complex adaptive system. It is never static. It is constantly adapting. And because tourism systems are interconnected, disruption rarely stays isolated. When most people hear that an airline is struggling financially, or in the case of Spirit Airlines, actually fails, they think about the airline itself. But tourism systems do not work that way, because airlines are not isolated transportation companies operating independently from the tourism ecosystem. They are essentially accessibility infrastructure. They are connective tissue. They are network nodes inside a much larger destination system. And when a major airline weakens, contracts, restructures, or disappears, the ripple effects extend far beyond aviation. Hotels feel it, restaurants feel it, convention centers feel it, attractions feel it, airport authorities feel it, transportation providers feel it, workers feel it, entire destinations feel it. Spirit Airlines plays a very specific role in the tourism economic system. It functions as an accessibility node. Its existence influences airfare competition, destination affordability, consumer accessibility, price-sensitive traveler behavior. weekend leisure demand, secondary airport viability, convention feasibility, and in general, destination competitiveness. When low-cost accessibility weakens, the system immediately begins recalibrating. The first ripple effect is accessibility compression. Flights become more expensive, route options decline, frequency decreases. Travel becomes less convenient. Secondary airports lose connectivity, and now suddenly traveler segments disappear from the system. Budget-conscious travelers may postpone trips. Families will reconsider discretionary spending. Short-stay visitation declines. Group travel feasibility changes. Hotels immediately begin experiencing demand shifts. Occupancy forecasting becomes far more volatile. Pricing strategies change. Revenue management becomes more complicated. Convention planners begin reassessing destination accessibility. And what started as an airline issue rapidly becomes a destination ecosystem issue. This is the nonlinear behavior of complex adaptive systems. Small disruptions can create disproportionately large consequences. Tourism systems are heavily influenced by perception. When travelers begin perceiving a destination as more expensive, less accessible, more difficult to reach, or just less convenient, behavior changes. Search behavior changes. Booking windows change. Destination comparisons change. Traveler psychology changes. And eventually, the disruption becomes self-reinforcing. That is a systems feedback loop. Perception influences behavior. Behavior influences demand. Demand influences pricing. Pricing influences accessibility. Accessibility influences perception again. The system becomes cycling dynamically. Many organizations still operate under the assumption that tourism systems can be centrally controlled. No DMO controls tourism. No hotel controls tourism. No airline controls tourism. No government controls tourism. What organizations actually do is influence behavior inside a decentralized ecosystem. That distinction matters tremendously, because if tourism systems cannot be fully controlled, then the strategic goals shift. The objective becomes less about control and more about adaptive capacity. Now, here's the critical question for today. Can social capital stop disruption? No, but can it reduce the severity and duration of destabilization? I believe the answer is yes. Not because social capital prevents disruption, but because strong relational infrastructure can reduce fragmentation associated with disruption. This is where the three dimensions of social capital become operational rather than theoretical. Structural social capital is about network infrastructure, as we've discussed before. Who is connected to whom? How quickly can organizations coordinate? How rapidly can information move? When a disruption like an airline contraction occurs, destinations with strong structural capital can mobilize faster. Airport authorities coordinate with DMOs. Hotels share booking trend intelligence. Convention bureaus proactively contact planners. Regional stakeholders coordinate messaging. Alternative carriers are approached quickly. Economic development organizations align on strategy. Collaborative recovery campaigns emerge much faster. That reduces response latency. And in complex systems, response speed matters tremendously. Relational social capital focuses on trust. Without trust, systems often fragment during uncertainty. Organizations protect themselves. Stakeholders hoard information. Political blame cycles emerge. Competition intensifies internally. But destinations with strong relational capital behave differently. Organizations collaborate more willingly. Stakeholders share information. Partners coordinate messaging. Temporary sacrifices become possible for long-term recovery. Collective problem-solving may emerge. But that trust lowers systemic friction. And friction reduction becomes critically important during periods of uncertainty. Cognitive social capital focuses on shared understanding. Recovery becomes extraordinarily difficult when stakeholders interpret the disruption differently. Airlines see profitability pressure. Hotels see occupancy decline. Residents see economic instability. Politicians see political risk. Attractions see visitation volatility. But if every stakeholder defines the problem differently, coordinated adaptation becomes almost impossible. But destinations with strong cognitive alignment create shared narrative, shared priorities, shared messaging, shared direction, and shared understanding accelerates collective action. Artificial intelligence, climate volatility, airline instability, economic uncertainty, technological acceleration, shifting traveler behavior, platform dependency, labor shortages, political instability. These are not all isolated events. They are persistent environmental conditions, which means the future of tourism leadership may depend less on creating perfect stability and more on developing adaptive ecosystems capable of responding effectively to continuous change. The old model of destination management focused heavily on promotion, but the emerging model may increasingly depend on ecosystem stewardship, collaborative governance, network coordination, and adaptive resilience, but also social capital. Social capital is not simply a soft concept. It is not just about networking. Inside complex systems, social capital may actually function as adaptive infrastructure. It helps information move. It helps organizations coordinate. It helps trust emerge. It helps ecosystems reorganize. And perhaps resilience is not simply the ability to absorb shocks. Perhaps resilience is the ability of relationships, trust, and shared understanding to reorganize a system faster than disruption can destabilize it. Tourism is not static. It is fluid, it is dynamic, it is interdependent, it is adaptive. And leadership inside complex systems is no longer simply about promotion or control. It is increasingly about stewardship, coordination, trust, network resilience, and the ability to help ecosystems organize effectively during uncertainty. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Insightful Moments podcast. I'll see you next time.